welcome back everyone to Third Street Reactions. I'm Zach.
I'm Shane.
I'm James.
And we are here today with a new show. That's an old show, but it's a good show. And it's called Castlevania. Season 1, Episode 1. Now, I have seen this series in its entirety.
Yep.
These gentlemen have seen nothing.
I don't know anything about it. I heard it was good, and I played the games.
They don't know. Yeah, I was going to say, you don't know any... You know nothing about it.
Yeah.
It's not like that. I mean, you played the games, you're familiar with the material.
And did you play Lords of Shadows, which is a Hideo Kojima?
No.
Yeah, he did a Castlevania game. And it's
That's what I heard.
It's pretty good. Yeah.
He also did with Silent Hill.
Well, he started making a Silent Hill with
because he was
Norman Reedus and Del Toro, and then him and Konami got in a feud, so he didn't do it. Yeah. But I don't know. I heard they're trying to make one, and I don't know what happens.
A feud is big in the Japanese and gaming industry.
It's weird because I've heard
and it kind of helps sell.
Yeah, I've heard the American analysts say that just like Nintendo and Squaresoft, Japanese companies always eventually make up and do business. So I don't know. We'll see what happens.
They see the practicalities.
Well, they do,
and I enjoy that.
Yeah, they take the emotion.
The practical things.
Yeah,
there's money in working together.
I know. I'm drawing a blank on most of the voice talent in this show right now.
Okay,
and I'll look into it a little more later. So
yeah.
Deal with it.
Deal with it.
But I remember Richard Armitage is in this, and I'm familiar with his actual acting work to a certain degree. He's in The Hobbit.
Yes.
He's also in Hannibal.
The show or the movie?
The show.
Okay.
He's a great performer, a great voice talent, and now you're going to see it. I got nothing else.
Let's do it.
Ugh, I hate bats. Nasty fucking things. Rats with wings.
Rats are rodents, Dr. Meridian.
Wow.
I don't like doors that close behind me.
My name is Lisa. I want to be a doctor.
Shit.
You bang on my front door because you want to daub chicken blood on peasants.
Don't mistake me for a witch.
And I do not get many visitors. What have you to trade? For my knowledge, Lisa from the pool.
Sounds cool.
Sir Charlie.
Perhaps I could help you relearn some manners.
What if I took a drink from you? Or have you looked at yourself?
I might have eaten some roasted garlic earlier. Was that rude? It was all I had left. Will you help me?
You are definitely different to most humans I have met in recent times.
I can teach you to like people again. Or at least tolerate them. Or stop putting them on sticks.
Does she know he's a vampire?
Where is...
I think she's kind of ignorant to it right now.
Travel like people do. You might like it.
She's differentiating.
I've known you. And you offer for me to walk the earth like an ordinary peasant. While I give you the knowledge of immortals. The true science.
They won't be peasants anymore if you teach them. Start with me. And I'll start with you.
I think I might like you.
Of all the witches I've rooted out, none had such a collection. She called it all science.
I've made some small study of the chemical sciences myself, you know. Just a study, of course. Everything to practice such things.
Don't hurt them! They don't understand!
What does that remind you of?
Oh, it just reminds me of Jesus,
Yeah.
Jesus built my hot rod.
They don't know what they're doing! Be better than them! Please!
Oh, I'd be screaming, get me the fuck down from here.
You can imagine how he's going to feel about this.
Yeah.
What happened? Where is my wife?
His wife.
The bishop took her. Witchcraft, he said. She was good to me, your wife. A good doctor. It's not right what happened.
Where are they holding her? The cathedral?
She'll be dead by now.
What? She said to me, if you would love me as a man, then live as a man. Travel as a man. Mine was the way men do. Slowly. Take your family and leave Wallachia tonight. Pack and go, and do not look back.
It's kind of biblical too, isn't it?
As long as she doesn't turn into a pillar of salt when she looks back.
Exactly.
Yeah. He was just, by traveling slowly, he just means he's walking.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, traveling like a man.
Not using
like
fast travel.
Not doing that. That's
Yeah.
the transmission shit.
Oh. Poor Lisa.
Could be God's own country had I
I'm just going to talk like this. Disappeared from known.
What have you done? What have you done to my wife? She was supposed to be myth. A story made up by heritage.
She's a witch.
Tepesh was the woman of the sciences, and the one thing that justified humanity's stench upon this planet. You are not real. You took that which I got 1 year.
That's pretty gracious, still.
That is fucking more than gracious.
Well, I mean, the
done it
effect,
that night.
I mean, the effect that Lisa had was a real thing.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Ran in hellfire.
Remember the Passion of the Christ when the earthquake happens at the end and all the Jews, the Pharisees, they were like freaking out.
Had to correct that, didn't you?
What?
Had to correct that, didn't you?
Well, the Pharisees, sorry. I could have stood out for a year. Oh, fuck, what would I do for a year?
No.
It will take me 1 year to summon an army from the guts of hell itself. No. That woman was the only reason on Earth for me to tolerate human life.
Then find the one who did the deed. Many thousands of people just as innocent as her will suffer and die.
There are no innocents. Not anymore. Any one of them could have stood up and said no.
I grieve with you. I won't let you commit genocide.
Jesus.
Fattened calf.
Fucking fingernails out of control.
For 20 years have I served you and God. A little more than 1 year ago, many of us suffered a vision during the God-willed punishment of a witch in our midst. The devil himself came to us. Illusions and falsehoods hold no fear for us.
You have no power.
Are the righteous of Targovista.
Somebody's about to have a real bad day. Well.
I gave you 1 year to make your peace with your God. And what do? Celebrate the day you killed my wife. I bring your death. You had your chance. Kill for my love. Kill for the only true love I ever knew. Kill for the endless lifetime of hate.
You didn't think he was gonna go blind, fucking a goat with mange?
That would have been your fault too.
I would have got him blamed for that too. When I find my goat laying on his side in the field, fuck within an inch of its life,
And then naked man, with blood and straw all over his neck. Hit him with a shovel. Fucking right.
The horde's been seen, sweeping west.
serves him right. Stuck-up bastards.
Come on.
Great houses are greasy.
Flat Dracula.
The Belmonts? We should have killed all the Belmonts.
That was the reaction this is their response.
I'm super into the show.
Me too, man.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Zakk, I discussed off camera, this was like an anime or non-anime. I mean, we define anime as a Japanese animation.
Right.
Yeah, when you're being strict about it.
Yeah. But what'd you think?
I mean, I thought it was phenomenal. The art style was great. It was intense. I legitimately felt afraid of Vlad. You know what I mean? Like, that's a scary fucking dude, man.
Yeah, Dracula's really cool in this.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen Bram Stoker's Dracula?
Oh, yeah.
Francis Ford Coppola?
Years ago.
I haven't, no.
Long time ago.
I haven't.
Gary Oldman. Keanu Reeves is in it.
I think I remember you talking about
Anthony Hopkins is in it.
Yeah.
And
no, I haven't seen it. I think
it's Winona Ryder.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
I think I just remember you talking about it like years and years ago.
It's definitely a classic.
It's like old, right?
90s.
90s.
Yeah,
mid-90s,
probably.
Yeah. 90s.
Who played Dracula?
Gary Oldman.
Okay.
Tom fucking Waits is in it.
He is?
That should have been first one I mentioned. Yeah. I must have seen Dracula at a young age.
Yeah.
And it just stuck with me.
Okay.
So now I watch it and I still enjoy it.
I have to check it out.
Some of the action scenes are goofy.
Well, you'll have that. So I've seen Vampire Hunter D, which is a sequel.
Yeah, that's good.
Which is a sequel to the Vampire Hunter movie, which I haven't seen.
I haven't seen it either.
Yeah, I heard it just was very aged. But the second one was great. It's an incredible anime. Yeah. And I can't even remember it. I just remember the visuals. Remember the guy on his hand talking to him. Yeah. Disgusting.
Dude, I used to have terrible nightmares. I think I've mentioned that in another reaction of vampires when I was a kid. Terrible.
I think you told me that.
Yeah, terrible nightmares.
Vampires, and you get the... I mean, what is your favorite in that little mythos of vampires, werewolves, and all that?
Ooh. I feel like I would like...
The classic monsters, basically.
Ooh, that's tough.
To me, I think werewolves are cooler.
I think werewolves.
I enjoy werewolves more.
Yeah,
but I think it's partly because of society's portrayal of vampires. They're typically pretty boys.
Yeah.
That sparkle in the sun.
Well, especially with the newer... What's that newer movie's called that all the girls love?
Twilight.
Yeah,
I haven't seen them.
Movies,
yeah.
I haven't seen them, but they don't remind me of something I like.
That gave me a bad impression of... What's his name? The guy who plays...
Robert Pattinson?
Yeah, Robert Pattinson. I never cared for him much because he had that whole line of films.
Yeah.
But then I watched The Lighthouse.
Yeah.
That had him and Willem Dafoe in it.
Yeah.
That is a great fucking
I've seen
movie.
like in The Rover, he's incredible now. He's done a lot of great movies.
I haven't watched The Rover.
Yeah.
Oh, he's great in Tenet. He is great in Tenet. I've watched Tenet.
I need to see it.
It is good. He is good.
Yeah.
But he was really good in The Lighthouse with Willem Dafoe.
It's on my list.
There's a fucked up movie.
Yeah.
Leaves you feeling fucked up at the end of it. But it's a good one.
I have to wait till no one's home then probably.
Yeah, I would suggest so. Yes.
So I really like True Blood. Have you seen that?
I've only seen parts of it. My favorite vampire work anyway is The Strain. That has pretty much taken the pick.
It's incredible.
It's fucking great. I love the characters. I love the story.
The vampires are horrifying.
They're horrifying, and even was it CW?
It's FX.
FX, that's right. But I just the master kind of reminded me of a CW monster when you first start seeing him.
A little bit, yeah.
Because he has this kind of wonky, kind of rubbery look to him. But it pays off in the end.
Yeah.
It does. If you follow through with it, it's great. We should react to it sometime. I don't know when. But it's fantastic. Well, I did mention the reaction. You mentioned that bats are rats with wings. Does that remind you? Do you remember Batman Forever at all?
I don't remember anything about it.
One of the bad Batman nipple movies.
That's George Clooney, right?
No, Batman Forever has Val Kilmer.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
And Tommy Lee Jones and Jim Carrey.
Okay, I remember liking
Nicole Kidman.
I remember liking
Nicole Kidman.
I remember liking Val Kilmer. I just don't remember any of the...
Val Kilmer's cool. But
yeah.
I'm just saying that movie's... Batman Forever was better than Batman and Robin. By a long shot.
Well, I just remember... I mean,
Uma Thurman's hot.
I don't remember disliking it as a kid. I just haven't seen it since then. But like I know George Clooney...
I loved it as a kid.
Yeah.
But going back and looking at it now, I'm like, oh man.
well, just like the modern Dark Knight movies are just some of my top 50 favorite films ever.
Well, he did this when they caught lightning in a bottle.
Yeah.
Anyway, he says to Nicole Kidman in that movie, when she said they're rats with wings or something, she says almost the exact same fucking thing. He's like, bats are rodents, Dr. Meridian. That's reminded me.
I remember she was like the crazy sscientist lady, right?
No, she was like a reporter. No, she was a scientist, but she was like had the hots for Batman.
Uma Thurman? What were we talking about?
No. Was Nicole Kidman.
Oh, okay.
Uma Thurman was Batman and Robin.
Oh, okay.
And
I just remember it was funny. Is George Clooney in his office, in his den, he's got his big ass poster of Batman and Robin like behind him or in front of him.
Well, good for him.
He says it's just a reminder to not always take everything. He says it's a reminder to...
Well, do you remember this movie where he was in the ice Batman suit and he had like dark purple eyeliner?
I don't remember any of that.
It was bad.
I don't remember any of it.
It's a reminder not to take...
classic...
take any role. I mean, he got off of ER.
Right.
You know, and he was huge on that, and he's transitioning to movies.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think he wanted like a big hit, and it ended up not being...
Didn't work out so well.
I mean, because Joel Schumacher, he's made a lot of great stuff, but it was a little campy.
It was very campy.
Yeah.
Not a little campy. Nothing little about it.
I mean, I literally don't remember anything. I remember Tommy Lee Jones. I remember Jim Carrey.
That's Batman Forever.
I don't know anything. Maybe I don't know if I've seen it then.
Batman Forever.
Batman and Robin's got...
That's the one with Jim Carrey. The Riddler.
Okay.
Okay, you remember all that?
I mean, I just remember him. I don't remember anything about the movies.
My work raises too many questions. He says, like, now maybe it's time somebody puts you back in your place.
There's a funny story though. Jim Carrey was working with Tommy Lee Jones. Was it Batman Forever?
Yeah, I know. He's saying, I can't abide your tomfoolery, buffoonery.
He says, I hate you. I can't stand you. I will not. He says, I do not condone your buffoonery.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
He said that off screen
to Jim Carrey in a restaurant. Because Jim Carrey goes, hey, man.
Kodak moment.
Yeah, sorry.
You gotta put it in there.
So he said that
at
a restaurant. Like this was.
I haven't read it since then.
Like this was real beef.
Yeah, no, I mean,
didn't like him. He didn't like his style.
Well, he didn't know him. They never met. And Tommy Lee Jones is probably a pretty serious guy. And Jim Carrey's probably like in his 20s at the time.
Yeah.
Came up and just said, "Hey, how you doing?" You know, and he just looked at him and said, "I hate you. I can't stand you. I will not suffer your buffoonery." Or something. It's just something.
I will not condone your buffoonery.
I will not condone. I do not condone.
That is brutal, man.
So you have, or we're in Wallachia, we're in Romania.
Yeah.
And
vampire.
Actually, Vlad Tepes was a real person.
Okay.
He was a royal or a ruler of Romania in his time, and it was during the time that the Turks in the Ottoman Empire, and he was a brutal son of a bitch. Like he would kill the Turks and impale them.
Yeah.
Damn.
On stakes.
Was he called Vlad the Impaler?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard of
him. And he fucking impaled these people, and he did a pretty good. I mean, all intents and purposes, he did his job right.
So
he was horrible.
He did his job.
He treated people quite horrible.
Yeah. That's why Lisa.
He was a sadist.
Is that why Lisa said something about not impaling people?
Well, the idea is, because he had the people when he first had the opening scenes of the episode, all the skeletons on stakes.
Yeah.
That was the idea, because he would, some guy complained about the stench of bodies around his castle, and he fucking had him impaled higher than the rest of the bodies.
Why was he?
Damn.
So
yeah, he's a brutal guy.
Was he like a lord of that town or something?
He was a fucking ruler of Romania.
Okay. Oh, okay.
And he was a member of the society, and I'm gonna get it wrong, but it's like the Society of the Dragon or something like that. The Dragon, that's where Dracula comes from.
Right.
Like,
is Ralph Fiennes part of the society?
Why would it be?
He's got the tattoo of the dragon on his back from that movie.
Red Dragon.
Yeah.
Well, funny enough, Richard Armitage plays that guy in the Hannibal series.
Really?
Yeah. So he plays the Red Dragon.
Well, goddamn.
But no, he was a member of the society, and it was a society that was bent on keeping the Turks out of Romania.
Fucking Turks.
Combating the Turks.
Yeah.
And he was a brutal guy. I mean, it earned him a reputation and a legend.
Okay. So
we'll talk about it today.
I wonder when the vampire thing got twisted into there.
I don't really know. I don't know if that was mostly fictional work, actually people publishing stories, and they just attached it to him.
Yeah.
Because the vampire myth probably predates him.
Yeah.
So, church's power in medieval times. Like
Crusades and shit like that. You can't stray away from the fact that the church at the time did some terrible things. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, men that wanted power, just like today, they find it. And back then, the real power was in the church.
Yeah. And I imagined a lot of people did do it in the name of God. They believed it was like God wants me to do this. But I also believe some guys on top probably like, all right, we're using these fuckers. We want to stay in power.
Absolutely. Well, it reminds me too of another show that I've seen that I don't believe you've seen. You've only seen part of an episode of, and it's Berserk, which actually is a very highly acclaimed manga.
Yeah.
Which I believe the manga is probably better. That's what I've heard. I'd like to read it. Can't afford to buy it right now. But I don't want to pirate it. I want to actually have the book in my hand.
Yeah.
I want to have the artwork.
Yeah. Good point.
That's my main reason. I'd love to have the artwork in my hand, especially with works like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, Yeah, the medieval times. We had somebody blast us for our. They said, I think they said something along the lines of us defending America's medieval.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Oh well, I wouldn't defend evil acts. I'm just saying it happened.
Yeah, well, they're talking like America now, saying that we're kind of living in the Stone Age still, or the medieval times,
right?
With our law system.
I don't agree with that.
I don't agree with that either.
But I'm open to the conversation.
Absolutely. If they want to DM us on Instagram, we'll talk to you for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're Americans. We're partial to America. A lot of Americans aren't because it's fashionable right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fashionable to hate America.
Yeah, but you look back in the, at times that were occurring right after a major war or before it, and like patriotism is at a high.
Yeah.
And shit, whereas the country, or 9/11.
Yeah. Right, absolutely.
Where the country's united.
So what you're saying, Zakk, is we need a good old-fashioned war.
I want to go with what people before me have said. You want a war, but you don't know what you're asking for.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So because these people want a big fight on their hands, no matter who they are, if it's by the partisanship in politics, or if it's actual a full scale war, people think it'd be great, but it wouldn't, folks. History's taught us that much. War is hell.
What is it good for, baby?
I think I'm a pacifist. I really do.
I don't think I'm a pacifist.
I am.
I just know that it's gonna. I'm like a spectator.
You're
just
spectator.
Watching it all happen.
Yeah. I don't like war. I haven't seen much good come from war. I really haven't.
Well, war is progress. I mean, it has driven a lot of
definitely technologically.
Yeah,
technologically for sure.
Well, I mean, you got to think standing armies were created when states were formed. Not the United States, just states in general.
Yeah.
To control the gunpowder revolution and shit because before that they didn't really have standing armies. They had lords and people and knights and all that shit and feudal lords, but they called upon people to fight. There weren't many professional armies. I mean, you had them like Sparta.
I thought Greece had some,
but Greece were citizen soldiers, most of them. Sparta had a profession.
What is their profession, though? No.
Well, they got potter.
Well,
you're Sparta by day.
I was including Greece in that.
Yeah, but Sparta stood out with that, though.
Oh, it definitely stood out.
They were very strict on military matters and training their citizens and shit like that.
I didn't know this, but you couldn't. I don't think a guy can get married until he's like 30.
Yeah, but they also had like fucking spies in their population, and they had a lot of shitty things that went along with how cool they were.
I imagine.
So it's just you praise Sparta for all it is or was.
Yeah.
It's gone now.
Yeah.
So got gobbled up by the Roman Empire. Yeah. So they weren't that good.
Yeah.
And the Romans still have roads standing today. So the Rome gave you roads.
That's true.
Sparta gave you a good story. I mean, the Romans did too. So the Romans still trembled.
So Shane, as a Christian, how did you feel about the kind of biblical stuff that was mixed into the show? We had Lisa on the cross like Jesus, yelling out something similar like they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, Jesus said, "Forgive them, Father, for they do not know what they do."
Yeah, so how did you feel about
when art calls upon some of those things? I think a lot of people, no matter what you believe, they can recognize it.
We have to imagine too that this is set in a time,
and
in a place where that is very prevalent. The church is very prevalent.
Very
religion much. And even hysteria. Religious hysteria,
right?
And
so when Lisa said it, I would imagine if we were drawing lines here, I imagine she would be on the opposite side of religion, even though I don't.
Because she was,
she believed in science, even though I believe you can believe in both.
You do now,
yeah.
But back then it would have been a harder line drawn because that was something people were not used to seeing, and were not familiar with.
It was considered witchcraft, like we saw in the episode.
Yeah. What's interesting is that Jesuit priests who made the calendar that we have now, and so it's what's that?
Academics.
Well, yeah, just and honestly, the Muslims who created algebra, I guess if you look at history, there's been different religions who've helped create a lot of the things that we use today.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
It's true. That's true.
Absolutely. Yeah. They gave us coffee.
He was called Ethiopia. Ethiopia. Ugh.
Well, they were monks that were boiling these beans,
and
they found out that if you drank the broth and everything,
it tastes good.
Yeah,
because I've heard the legend, a farmer noticed that his livestock was acting funny when consuming these beans.
Pretty sure there were monks.
Okay, well, I mean that's probably a better story.
Well, I've heard it credited. There were some monks that were boiling some beans, and wasn't like some great religious revival moment. They just boiling some fucking beans and like, hey, it's pretty good. Man, I can't go to sleep.
I felt Vlad's pain or Dracula's pain though, man. That was brutal when he lost his wife. That moment was really very real. Do you guys think you would be that malicious and that like would you want revenge if it was you in that situation?
If someone killed someone very near and dear to you, I mean, right now you and I, we don't have wives. And we don't have that significant other in our lives, but we have our kids.
But would you
imagine it was your kid? What would you do?
Yeah, but I wouldn't go to the point of wanting to take out entire.
Well, you got to consider the fact that he's not a human.
That's true.
If I were him, I'd probably do what he did. If I were me, I'd want to just like what's Alucard?
Yeah,
like he said, I'd want to get that guy back.
That guy
at the minimum.
Yes,
yeah.
I'm going after that guy for sure.
Yeah, I think one thing I love about him is like Dracula in this. He in memory of his wife, he like let that woman go in the beginning.
Yeah.
And I mean, he said two things. Like he said, if, I'm going to give these people a year basically for the love of my wife. But he also, ironically, it's going to take him a year to summon the army. That's,
well, he's going to have a whole year.
I love that.
During that year, you have a chance.
Right.
Yeah, they could have left, or they could have.
They could have repented.
They could have at least repented, so they could have been right with their God, or they could have left. But so he didn't just sick him on that town. He stuck.
All of Romania.
He went wild.
I guess, to me, I was like, if I was one of those people, I left that town to thank God. And then like, what do you talk about?
I'm going to tell you one thing. If this little group, the society in general, because that's how he's viewing it. Yeah. The human society. If they did that to, let's say, like my daughter.
Yeah.
Right.
I would probably burn that fucking place to the ground.
No, it would be like if I was...
nothing would be able to satiate your hate.
Yeah.
The argument is like if you did all that, you still might not be satisfied.
No, but he might keep going.
Yeah.
But you'll see more of that as the series goes on. That reflects on his personality and those around him, and how they start viewing him because of this insatiable bloodlust and hatred he has.
Yeah.
So,
well, I think I can understand because all those people sitting there cheering on as she's getting burned alive. I can understand his.
I think
he said not one person.
Yeah.
One person could have spoke up
yeah.
and said that we will not behave like animals anymore.
Well, it just kind of made me think also of the Old Testament was like if there was one good person, would you spare these people?
Right.
He's not too worried about it.
Yeah, I mean. So
like Alucard said, he said, what, you're going to kill more innocents like her.
Well, I mean, Dracula in his eyes, like there wasn't.
Well, they're not innocent now because all their hands are bloody. With him.
Man, when he was burning those cities, to me, that looked like hell. You know what I mean? Like it looked.
The imagery was
pits of hell.
The imagery was
really... children sliced in half, and laying in pieces all around.
Yeah, so that's always hard to see because they don't know what the hell's going on.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
No, but one positive note. When we're talking about her burning at the stake, reminded me of Monty Python. And there's a part in Monty Python and the Holy Grail when they've got this woman who's sitting on this. They're saying she's a witch.
Yeah.
And they're like, she's like, burn her! Yeah. She's a witch! And everything's like, how do you know she's a witch? Well, she turned me into a newt. A newt?
I remember that. I remember you talking.
I got better.
I think you mentioned that in a previous reaction. Yeah. I think I put the clip in the video, I think.
Yeah, because they're talking about it. It's like, they break it down, and I can't remember the exact order now.
Yeah.
It's like, what happens when you throw a witch? Like, they're comparing her to different things. Like, what happens when you throw a stone in water and it sinks or whatever?
Yeah.
And so, what do we do now? It's like, throw her into the pond! And he's like, no! What else floats in water?
Yeah.
And he goes, they're going over this shit. He's like, a duck! A duck! And they weigh her against the duck. And like the scale's obviously tipped.
Right.
To where the duck is heavier. Yeah. And she goes up. Or no, she goes down, sorry.
Yeah.
And like, she's a witch! And it's just... Fucking great movie.
I mean, like, it's been so long. I just remember you watching it down there, and the thing that stands out to me the most was just the flesh wound thing.
Oh, the Black Knight.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many great parts in that movie. There's a part where this guy's... He's in this castle, and it's full of these naked women that all want him and everything. And it's Sir Robin. And he's in there, and they're all talking to him, and they want a piece of him and everything. It's just a bunch of horny women.
Yeah.
And their tits are hanging out and everything.
It shows it?
Yeah. And Sir Lancelot, who's John Cleese, comes in to save him.
Okay.
And he breaks in there. He's like, oh, no, come on. It's too much peril. and And he says, no, can't we just stay for a few more minutes? No, it's too perilous.
Perilous?
Yeah, he's talking about the fucking, I guess, seduction.
Yeah.
I bet you're gay. No, I'm not. It was funny.
Yeah.
Shit.
But other than that, I mean, you got a glimpse of Belmont in this episode.
Yeah.
Just hanging out drunk in
So
the
what
bar.
was like what do you say? Oh, fuck or oh, shit or oh, no?
We remember them talking about the Belmonts.
Yeah, I heard
the
that.
most.
Yeah, but was he... I mean, he's a badass, so why is he worried?
Well, because he's the whole town. They
Yeah.
hate Belmonts there. Well,
He don't want the bullshit.
presumably, but these guys in the bar, he didn't want the bullshit.
Yeah.
So he's like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, so...
Something else for him to deal with.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
He just wants to drink.
Yeah.
Foreshadowing, right?
Yeah.
Well, maybe this will change the way I feel about them in Super Smash Brothers, you know?
Well, I will say
'Cause they're bitches
his
to
name
fight.
is Trevor Belmont.
Okay.
And he is a badass.
Bad
in this show.
motherfucker.
And the way this show ends just unleashes his badassery.
Okay.
He's fucking awesome. I mean, they do that with a lot of the characters. All of them have badass moments, but he has like the most badass moment of everybody.
Oh, God, I'm excited. I was really drawn into the first episode.
Me too.
And if it wasn't so late, I'd say, let's not do Rick and Morty, I'd just watch the second one of this. And that's it.
Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. If you like what we do, like and subscribe. Find us on Instagram and Twitter. And we've got a few other shows in the mix.
Yeah.
Find those as well.
Mm-hmm.
We just started The Witcher.
Yes.
If you don't like it, well, you don't.
Fuck you!
You won't.
No, I'm just kidding.
So, see ya.